Hello again. I decided before we take our trip to China to actually recite some of my poems for you because if I get recognized for anything, it's going to be for my writing. Like I've been telling people, I write fictional stories. Um, like kind of like I guess Stephen King or Dean Koontz, classic fictional stories, but they're in the form of rhyme. I can't think of anybody that I know that's actually like this, so I want to recite a few of them for you on my channel before I depart for a month. So this first one I want to share, it's actually a trilogy that I want to write about the darkness inside of man. Um, First part of the story is called RPG, and it goes a little something like this. The king has been killed, the queen is in tears, the country controlled, the traitor spreads fear. The prophecy tells of the coming of one who will save the land when the night shows the sun. But prophecy sometimes spread a false sooth, 'cause the hero has failed in his quest for the truth. And now night eternal has fallen on us, 'cause the hero has died and there's no one to trust. So sorrow falls on this mystical land, the dark god was bored, the world is now damned. So listen ye all to this pitiful prose, the world can be saved, a quest has arose. For anyone who is now hearing these words, maybe it's you who will end this curse. For aeons untold the dark god reigned, and no light was seen on this twisted landscape, until in the village a child was born, whose birth was adorned by the light of the morn. For just a few minutes sun rays could be seen, the villagers felt they were inside a dream, but everyone knew that the child was cursed, the black night surely would heard of its birth, and in they would ride on steeds of black smoke to kill the child and end all hope. So the villagers devised a plan for a traveler to take the babe to a faraway land, where the child could hopefully begin to grow, and the first seeds of light could then be sown. To the mountains of Mirror the traveler fled, when the black nights came for the villagers' heads, and on the mountain in the crystal lake he saw something floating, a scroll he did take, and as the scroll slowly unfurled, a beam of light cut through the clouds, and into the light the traveler stepped, where he was greeted by an odd request. Within this beam all things are seen, the realm of life and that of dream. Your story's not quite what it seems, but it is saved within this beam. Make a choice, your choice is dear, lose or fail, you'll come back here. Save your story or continue on, the choice is yours and yours alone. So write your name upon this scroll, and a record is made with the prophets of old, who shall uphold your foretold plight, your desperate fight with eternal night. The blight begins with the child of light. But do not fear, don't make a sound. It seems another record was found written down. The traveler's not you, but the story's the same. There's only one lane that remains in this plane. The traveler didn't take heed to the words within the light, didn't believe the plead, and stepped out into the night. Lo and behold, what did he see? The little baby's body cut into three, a catastrophe of blasphemy. Upon a steed rides the dark god's creed. The babe was dead, the traveler couldn't succeed. And the last thing he saw before his demise was the darkness inside the dark god's eyes. But before the blade entered his brain, the dark god whispered in the traveler's face, "The darkness inside you is older than man. You cannot end what never began. Within this world my essence lies, and calls out to those with the darkness inside." And with a thrust that was swift and cruel, the black hole blade splayed the traveler's skull into fragments so tiny the eye could not see. Does this then end in misery? It cannot be. The prophecy! Freeze. Within this beam all things are captured, the realm of the here and the realm of the after. One file remains, the final chapter. If success is attained, what's after the end? Will you ascend, descend, or transcend? The traveler's dead, and his quest he didn't save. The scribe of the grave has written his fate. One file remains engraved in this place. A new hope is found, the world can be saved. To the ends of the earth he took the babe, where the scribe of the grave writes the life of all things. In the library where the scribe resides, there is a book that can forego time. And this is how the babe is now a man. The final stand can now begin again. In the zone of the sown, a single light shone upon the blade of the unknown fate. With this blade, the hero knew that the dark god's reign would be over soon. Into the heart of dark he would ride with the blade of the fate and a fire inside. But the dark god didn't even try to fight as the hero ended the eternal night. And as the dark god's essence began to fade, a message he bade to the scribe of the grave. After the end, the darkness stays and becomes a part of what you call the day. I was born in this world not to succeed, but to plant a dark seed in all your deeds. This is why the day has a night, and how humans are able to create such hate. They used to be good and they used to be pure, but now the darkness inside them is born. With these words, the dark god's curse disappeared from the face of the earth. This is why the king is alive, the queen can now thrive, the country's in peace, the traitor has died. The prophecy writ by the scribe of the grave told a story of how this world could be saved. But there is a loop, and it always returns, 'cause the dark god's birth put a curse on this earth. And even though the dark was defeated, it left a mark on the world unimpeded, that calls out to those with the darkness inside, consuming their hate and beginning to thrive, so that one day again it will be alive. If we create a reality that is different than the known, but feel the fake reality more strongly than our own, it becomes unknown what can be shown, 'cause no one else can see. What's sown in this zone, where you're thrown alone, realizing now you must atone and disown this lone world you call your home. 'Cause we create these fictional worlds with our hearts and heads, but make the mistake of thinking that these worlds are just pretend. How many dimensions are there then? Only the one we live in? Can victory be attained if the story never ends? Or are we doomed to repeat it again and again? Once upon a time, we find reality's perception is a lie. Within the stars we wish upon, reality's perception's gone. Thank you.